Alright, let's see. Oh, perfect. Alright, now just wait for some people to join in. And we get ready to go. So, let's see. Let's see what's gonna happen. Yeah, it's got some latency to it. Towers of time. Okay, let's see. Alright. Share this out. And let's see. Go to. Alright, let's see. Yo, what's up, people? What's up? Yeah, I'm gonna give you guys some gameplay to watch while you guys are listening to me go on about the final. So, quick check. Can you guys hear me? Like, is the mic all good? So, alright, cool. So, I'm just gonna have him do like AI battles. Basically, that's pretty much all I'm gonna do while I'm talking, so that way I'm not distracted too much. So, that way I can focus on the what if, and you guys can watch the gameplay, and whenever I see that I need to click off, then yeah, we're gonna be having rain go, just cause why not? So, pretty much. Alright, so let's see. None of you guys in here, so alright, let's get this started. So, how we doing today, guys? I'm the Crown Fiend, and welcome back to What If Deku Had Rain's Powers. This is the final part. I know I've kept you guys waiting for a few months for this one, 3 months in particular. So, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and let you guys get this final part done. And, sorry about the screen deal. I can't really figure out why it has that effect on it sometimes. It just does. So, yeah. But anyway, here we go. So, where we last left off with Rain, it was right after Overhaul was defeated. Deku in this has a robotic arm because Overhaul took his arm from him. He is part of a government task force that is basically just like all on getting people to go and kill villains covertly. So that's how things are going to work out in this. So with that, I hope you guys will enjoy. This is the final part, and let's jump right back into this where we last left off. So here we go. Anyways, it's the day after Deku got done telling Kaminari that he wants him to join his squad, as Kaminari would say that he will do it. So, I'm pretty sure that Kaminari is pretty much just feeling the pressure now because he has to be responsible for Deku's safety and his own. As Deku would just wake up the next day, go to the kitchen, get him some breakfast, and pretty much, like, that would be it. Like, Deku wouldn't really be doing much the next day, as he would just be going on. Hold on. Alright, we're back. Sorry about that. Just had to get the dogs to be quiet back there so you guys wouldn't be, disturbed. So, anyway, here we go. Deku is telling Kirishima that he just can't tell him what Aizawa and him were doing, that he just needs to go and mind his own business. As Denki would come in and would just tell Kirishima, back off, man. Like, isn't something you really want to get involved in. As Kirishima would just say, okay, well, anyway, I'm here if you guys need to talk. As basically, Kirishima would just say that that's all he wanted to say, is that he was just there to help him. As Kaminari would thank him for that and would say that you're a great friend. As basically, that would be pretty much it for Kaminari and Kirishima's conversation. Now, Kendo would actually be very concerned about Deku because, yeah, he's become a lot darker, a lot more brutal, and his outlook on things isn't the same. But as I would say that, everyone needs to enjoy this day off because tomorrow they're doing joint training with Class 1B. As they would just say, well, alright. So, that's how that's happening. And pretty much the day comes for Class 1B versus 1A. So, let's go ahead and tell you the differences that are going to happen in this arc. So, for this, we have, of course, several teams, except remember, Mineta is Class 1B and Kendo is Class 1A. So, with this, the teams are going to have a slight difference in them, and since Bakugo is with the villain in this one, Shinzo actually joins Class 1A only. He's pretty much just like the only actual person that is added in who doesn't get to fight 2 times like he would in the manga. So he's only fighting once. So with that, I hope you guys enjoy, and here we go. So, first team is Masui, Kota, Kaminari, and Kirishima. As for Team 2, it's Aoyama, Momo, Toru, and Tokiyami. Team 3 is Ida, Shoji, Shoto, and Ojiro. Team 4 is Shinzo. It has Jiro, Seto, and Sero. As for Team 5, it has Deku, Uraka, Mina, and Kendo. And that's pretty much it. I'm not going to cover the Class 1B people because I'm not that well versed in their names, and I'm not going to waste your time trying to stutter over their names. So, yeah, here we go. Now, I'm not going to go into detail because anime is coming out. You guys can watch this if you want to on the anime. It's pretty much what they're going to be starting out with. So, here we go. Basically, you have Kaminari walking through there as he uses his electricity to find out everyone's position, as he would say that, alright, we got him. As he would tell his team to move in, as they would, with Deku being very observant of Kaminari's movements, because Kaminari's told him that he's actually discovered a new move that he would want to try. As pretty much the new move that he's wanting to try is a move called Blackout. So the rest of them would push them all into a area where they're all in one spot, and Kaminari would say, bingo. as he would let out electricity in a kind of solar flare type of way, and it would go everywhere. Area of effect damage would be everywhere around them, as they would just be going crazy, as the electricity would rip through their bodies and they would all be knocked out unconscious. Kaminari would go stupid for a little bit, but that would be that, as he would just be pretty much all set, as Team 1 would win. Now, Team 2 would have a much more difficult time, but ultimately they would lose because of the Mushroom Girl's power. And keep in mind, Minetta's on Team 2 for Class 1B, so he could trap them in place, as Mushroom Girl would fill their lungs with mushroom spores and knock them out. So that's pretty much how Team 2 would lose. Now then, Team 3 would actually have a bit of a handicap, since Ida would just be getting out of the hospital and not at full strength. But ultimately, he would be pretty good enough to just fight normally. He's not going to be able to pull off anything crazy. And with that handicap, they're honestly at a huge disadvantage. Ida would actually get captured first. Ojiro would actually be kind of trying his best to help them out, but without him really being able to do much against Tetsu, Ojiro would get knocked out. Now, Todoroki would have to take up the pace and, pick things up into overdrive for his team, as Tetsu would just be bulldozing everyone. So, he has to take out Tetsu. That's the number one person who Todoroki has to be fighting against, as he would heat Tetsu's body up to about a boiling point, to where his skin would start to melt, and Tetsu would ultimately just give out. He wouldn't be able to take it anymore. So with that, Tetsu, he's just like done, over with, as the guy who has the quicksand type quirk would start causing Todoroki to sink. So Todoroki would ultimately lose, as Team 3 would be defeated and Class 1B would have another victory. Now, Team 4 would go up against, the team from 1B, with Setsuna being their most annoying opponent, as she could detach her own body parts. So, yeah, she's a very annoying opponent and very tricky to get a read on. But Shinzo is using his quirk to his full advantage, kind of mimicking their teammates' voices, so that way, they actually answer. And it actually helps them out a lot, because Shinzo's taking out people left and right. As Deku's looking, as he says, this could actually be pretty beneficial to us. Huh. As basically they'd say, yeah, pretty much. This could be very beneficial. So, Kaminari and Deku are thinking about scouting Shinzo. Now, with Team 4 having the victory over Class 1B, so Class 1A would win the 4th match. It's down to the 5th match, which basically has Monoma, Yui, and Reiko in it, and then kind of the dude that has like the little short fat guy. Yeah. So Deku and Kendo are actually very good at working together as a team. So that's why they're actually working together very well. And that's just why they're actually taking the lead over here. Now, Kendo would actually get her work copied by Monoma, as Deku's having to fight against Yui, who's able to manipulate the shape of things, as honestly, it's really annoying to him about how many deals he's having to destroy. So he's just teleporting behind her as he does a back kick to her and knocks her clean out. So that's how that ends up, as she's pretty much just on the floor, knocked out. Reiko tries something, but Uraka does zero gravity, and Deku creates a lightning strike to strike her down. Now, Reiko would be extremely injured, as Aizawa would tell Deku to hold back, as Vlad would see that as kind of an insult on his students. But at the same time, he would understand why Aizawa was telling him to hold back, as that's kind of why, his students are getting hurt this way. Now, Kendo would knock Monoma out relatively easily, because even though he's copied her quirk, he doesn't copy her usage of it, as all that's left is basically Pinball Guy and Mina and Kendo team up and knock him out relatively easily. So, yeah, there is that. And with that, the joint training would come to a close, with it being overall a tie. So, yeah. Even though Class 1A got the majority of the wins, they have to penalize Deku a little bit for using excessive force. So, Deku's kind of mad about that. But around this time, that's when Bakugo and Shigaraki are on the move. Because, yeah, Shigaraki's still around. Now, Bakugo being done with his whole 9 type of surgery that Dr. Ujiko performed on him, he would be ready, as he'd be wanting to steal Deku's quirk to make sure that the guy is basically knocked out and not able to do anything as he kills him. Because that's why Bakugo is just so adamant about taking Deku's, because of how badly Deku's beaten him, embarrassed him at every single turn. He just can't stand losing to Deku anymore, as he kind of just doesn't want the guy to be able to stand up to him. He wants to crush this man. He wants to kill him. And Deku wants to kill Bakugo because Bakugo's the one who killed Deku's father. So, yeah, he's not wanting to let Bakugo get away at all. But they meet up with the Meta Liberation Army. And that is something that is actually kind of just forcing the Meta Liberation Army to kind of take them a bit seriously now, because they have someone like Bakugo on their side. As pretty much it's just something that they don't really want to do, but they have to hear them out. And with them having to hear Bakugo out, like, it's something that Bakugo is demanding their respect, as he just says that if they can't respect him, then why are they even wanting them to have an alliance? So, basically, Bakugo just tells them straight up, you're going to respect me, or else you're going to die. And with that, they actually are forced to, because Bakugo takes Redestro's quirk. He straight up steals it. As Redestro can't do anything, and Bakugo has his giant form now, using explosions on top of explosions. And it's just like, he's too much for them to handle. So the League of Villains takes over the Meta Liberation Army without any type of conflicts to it. So, yeah, it's something that they're actually not that fond of, but at the same time, they do it out of fear. Because why else? As pretty much just, they're not wanting Bakugo to kill them, and Bakugo wants Deku. So the events would actually play out a lot differently, as Bakugo would send out the fodder people to draw out Deku's attention, which Deku would be forced to go into action with his new recruit Shinzo and everything else, because Kaminari, Shinzo, Deku, they would be the extermination squad, as these people are some of the worst. Like, you don't want them to really get ahead, as to really just fuck up everything that they're working so hard for, because really the government's scared now. After Overhaul, they're scared. They don't want anybody to get hurt, as Deku, Kaminari, Shinzo, they're all killing these guys. Deku would make everybody go crazy for it. And the reason why I'm not completing challenges is because it's not me fighting, it's the AI, so I don't have to be playing while talking. So it's confusing enough doing this, so just bear that in mind. Alright? Anyway, as Deku is just distraught by all these villain attacks, because in his mind it's like they're not even making a difference. Why the hell would they be in this type of situation where they're not able to make a difference and they just have to keep killing these fuckers? It's pissing him off, it's so aggravating. But everything comes to a front a few months later, as it's an all-out war. Because now Bakugo, he's done playing with Deku, as he convinces Shigaraki it's time to take the fight to the villains, as Shigaraki would tell him no, but since he's going through that surgery, Bakugo takes command, and he's forcing a fight, while Shigaraki's still getting that surgery done, as Bakugo's wanting to draw Deku out now. So the war starts without Shigaraki, and it's Bakugo against the entire world. So, yeah, everyone's going absolutely berserk. Bakugo only has about 2 quirks in his disposal for now. But he is going to take more. Now, the first attack is on the Hero Agency headquarters, which gets floored, and all the heroes are rushing in there. They even have to call on Deku's people for support. So none of the other students are in here. It's just 3 students who's part of a kill squad, and that's it. So, yeah. That's basically that. And gosh damn, I get tired of him fucking losing the whole time. Okay, let's try something else. But, yeah. So, basically, Bakugo is just ultimately waiting for Deku right there. As Deku sees Bakugo, he says, "So, you're finally here, after all this time." And Bakugo is smiling, as Deku says, "I hope you're ready. You're about to feel every bit of moisture in your body being ripped from your bones." As Bakugo says, "Don't think so," as he tries to take Deku's quirk, but it fails, as Deku's willpower is ironclad, and Bakugo says, "I don't understand, why can't I take your quirk?" And basically, Bakugo just is aggravated at this, as Deku's just saying, "I don't know, maybe you should try to rethink your life choices." And pretty much just Bakugo and Deku are full conflict, as Kaminari's striking Bakugo from the sides with his lightning, as Shinzo's trying to take over his mind, but Deku is telling Shinzo to give back, and Bakugo says, "Sorry, but I'll take your quirk instead," as he takes Shinzo's quirk from him. As Shinzo's quirkless now, he's like, "Oh shit," as Bakugo tells Shinzo to go jump off the roof, as basically Shinzo has to obey, as Deku tells Kaminari to go and save him, as basically Kaminari says, I don't like leaving you here by yourself, as Deku just says, don't worry about it, now go. And pretty much, like, Kaminari has to agree. So, Kaminari goes to save Shinzo while Deku's fighting Bakugo. Now, Deku actually takes Bakugo's arm from him with that actual water slice move that you just saw him do on screen. Yeah, he does that to Bakugo's fucking arm, as Bakugo is screaming out in pain. And pretty much, Deku just loves the fucking sound of Bakugo screaming like a bitch, as he just says, this is what I've been waiting for. As he just keeps hitting Bakugo, just right down piece after piece, tearing him apart, ripping his arm off. His other one, of course. As Bakugo tries to get away, as Deku creates a lightning strike and just strikes Bakugo down, as Bakugo's looking at him and saying, I'm gonna kill you, as Deku says, no you won't. Now tell me, where is Tomura Shigaraki? As Bakugo just says, why? Why Shigaraki? After all this, am I not a big enough threat for you? As Deku looks him right in the eyes and he says, you are nothing more than an inconvenience. Now tell me, where is Tomura Shigaraki? As pretty much, Shigaraki is revealed to be in a hospital. As everyone's just like, what? He's in a hospital? What's wrong? Is he fucking sick or something? As pretty much Deku just says, no, apparently he's getting his quirk enhanced. We need to stop him. So, everyone heads to Jakku. But it's a hard-fought battle throughout every one of the Meta Liberation Army. As pretty much they're just having to really struggle at this, as they're not really all that equipped to keep taking on people constantly just going at them constantly, because, well, for one, limited number of heroes, a large amount of villains. Even though Deku's like killing all of them, Bakugo still took Shinzo's quirk, which would have been extremely useful, and now that Bakugo's dead, you know, it's not like they can get to him anymore. So, Bakugo would have been useful, but Deku has his orders. Kill everything on sight. So, he has to keep marching forward, as he finally gets to the hospital, and he has to fight a lot of high-end Nomu. But, that's where Mirko comes in. Endeavor is right there beside him as well. Even though Endeavor doesn't like Deku whatsoever, he knows he has to fight with him. And actually Mirio's there as well, having his quirk, along with Night Eye. Even though Night Eye is pissed at Deku, big time, they are actually all able to take out all of the high-end Nomus with little to no effort, as pretty much Deku gets to Shigaraki himself, and he notices Shigaraki's in water. And he says, oh, this is too easy, as he starts manipulating the water in the tank to impale Shigaraki's arms, his legs, as he then has the water soak in and explode, killing Shigaraki inside the tank. As the doctor would be screaming in anger, as Deku would just shoot a high pressurized water beam straight into his head, killing him. And that would be it. The war would be over. All the villains would be exterminated. And Deku, he'd be happy. as he would say, rain is inevitable. As Deku's going to head back, but suddenly there's this big flash of light. As Deku's caught off guard, as Kamen rushes over there to save him, the two of them end up falling in. And when they come to, they see this destroyed city background. It's not even Deku. This is the heart of Tokyo. It's destroyed. When did this happen? As that's when Deku would hear a voice. Oh, what do you want, you bloody Wonka? Don't you know it's a little too early for Halloween? As Deku would look back and he would say, who the fuck are you? As that's when the man would say, oh, you gotta be bloody fucking kidding me. As Deku would say, speak your name. As the man would say, well, it's Izuku Constantine. Nice to meet you, Izuku Midoriya. And that's where I'm leaving this one off. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you guys are looking forward to what's coming next. So, for you guys on YouTube, you can either click off this video now, or you can keep watching while I just chill here with some people. And yeah, pretty much it. So, hope you guys enjoyed. I've been the Crown Fiend. Peace. Oh shit.